Yeah, yeah, little fucking Hirohitos.
Little Hirohitos in the fucking universities telling everyone what to do.
Yeah,
All right, let's
yeah.
get
All right.
started before we get too
All
before you
right.
before your eyes turn into big hearts thinking about cum gutters on Ryuji.
I was kind of thinking about that. Anyway,
He has definitely got cum gutters.
he definitely has. I'm trying to build my own, by the way. But anyway, that's for another fucking time.
Cum gutter. You just got to move the beer gut out the way.
He's got cum gutters, and his forearms would be basically the width of a normal person's thigh, I reckon.
Have you ever seen? You probably would have seen it in memes, but have you ever seen the Baki manga or anime?
No,
It's like
no, I
people that are
don't.
like ridiculously muscular, and that's what I imagine Ryuji looks like. That he looks like Baki's dad.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh my god, look at him. Okay, I don't want to know why the fuck you're looking at this sick shit.
Get on board.
That's disgusting, dude.
Anyway, thank you for joining me, Daniel,
You're
as
welcome.
per normal. Um, we're talking Mish. We're talking the sailor who fell from grace with the sea, and I am talking with you,
Yes.
and you are presumably going to talk about chapter 4
Yeah, I
of the
do
second
want to
half.
talk. Of part two. So this is chapter 4 in winter. And this chapter is really about this conclave of evil little children um, deciding, and maybe like I'll sum up their thesis right now. It's deciding that fathers are evil.
Yeah,
Um,
it decidedly like real normal and definitely not hypocritical or like incredibly stupid sounding ways.
yes, this is where like the teenage boy brain really starts to deviate from the way I experienced being a teenage boy. This
Mm.
is like
Well,
like
these
a
kids are,
Nuremberg rally.
I have to say, these kids have never sounded dumber than in this chapter.
Yeah, yeah,
They all sound like total morons.
yeah, and also like it's real sort of like Catcher in the Rye areas as well. Like this is all just crap. This is all bullshit. Like there's no such thing as hope. There's no such thing as dreams. Oh, far out. These kids. I just don't know
Fathers
how
are the
like
cancer on society. That
how is it that seven children can be this evil and twisted?
isn't there only six?
No, isn't there six plus the chief?
That's a good question.
Damn,
Anyway,
we
there's
should have looked that up before we started this.
that's all right. We'll have a look.
But but maybe while you're looking, like that really is what like this chapter sort of I think lays out the chief's worldview and therefore the worldview of all these children, which they fall into line with basically, which is that fathers are bad, fathers are evil, fathers represent all the lost hopes and dreams. They represent the defeat of man in life.
Yeah, the failure of being whatever the fuck it is they want to be
Yeah, the
is
anti-romantic.
giving up and having sex with a woman
Yeah, exactly. They're
and having a
just
child from that rather than just
yeah.
for pleasure and enjoyment.
There's some, but look, there is a nice little detail you get a little bit further on, which is this nice vision that Noboru paints for us of Ryuji. So by day 6 of the new
Oh
year,
yes.
this is 6 days 6 days after he proposes. He's getting crammed into these English suits. Uh,
Yeah.
he's stuffed into these suits, and he's learning English, and he's learning how to run a business. But there's a nice little detail, which is he keeps his sailor clothes in the cupboard. Just you know, Noboru supposes that he still hasn't let go entirely of his life at sea just yet.
I
Um,
I imagine him dressed like Conor McGregor when he wears those really tight suits,
yeah,
and he just
yeah,
looks like a
yeah, yeah,
complete fucking freak.
yeah. like with this perfectly like triangle shaped torso. I can't imagine that shape on Ryuji though. I think he's perfectly like rectangular shaped.
I don't know. It's not clear what shape
It's not clear.
he is, apart from
It's
the
not.
fact that well, no, he's suit of armor shaped. That's what the book says.
Oh, that's for me rectangular.
Yeah.
So and it doesn't matter what kind of father that father is. They could be a loving, doting father. They could be an alcoholic father. They could be a father that beats you.
There
They
could be a
could,
father who prays, as
yes,
we say, and doesn't seem
exactly.
to do anything bad apart
Yep,
from help his son.
exactly. Doesn't matter what kind of father you are. Fathers are evil itself, and as we will see, uh, Ryuji will have he will be convicted of the sin of being a father,
Yes, a
because
father without even trying. Well, actually, we'll get to that with the next
yeah,
chapter.
we'll get to the
I
next
think
chapter.
he does
He
he
barely
does try
tried.
a little bit. Um,
Yeah,
but one thing I did like with this, even though these children are horrible little evil ghouls, as we've gone over many times, um, when they were playing in the boxes um, on the beach, I thought that was quite evocative. That
yeah,
sounds like something I would have done when I was a kid.
yeah.
Um,
That was nice. Do you just want to like evoke a little bit of that?
well,
It
yeah,
was nice.
the chief says he found a windbreak. Obviously, that's something that he found when he was, out walking or whatever, and he wanted to show the other boys. And it's a pile of shipping crates or wooden boxes from a ship, because this is obviously before they used those big sea containers, and they would have used smaller boxes. Um, the boxes are only large enough to accommodate a small cow, which is a strange unit of
Hmm.
measurement if I've ever heard of one.
Hmm.
Um, and then they just sort of they lurk between the crates, leap out in flying tackles, chasing each other
Hmm.
in and among the disordered rows.
Like
Uh,
puppies.
yeah, until they find one crate that's looks like it was graffitied by all the sailors on the ship,
Yeah,
with a bunch of aphorisms that just seem sort of totally asinine. It's like the sort of
yeah,
shit you would write on a toilet if you were bored at work.
yeah.
But it infuriates the chief, um, who's getting infuriated by things as evil as "I have changed, I'm a new man," arrows pointing where Yokohama, New York, and heaven and hell are, and people saying, "We need to fall in love, pal. Forget women. Who needs them?" This crap's all lies, the chief says angrily, doubling his powerless white hand into a fist. He pummeled the plywood wall impotently, is what is implied, but
Yeah.
not said.
There's just something wrong with these kids, man.
They're little freaks. Something going on with these
There's
kids in
yeah,
1965.
there's something wrong with them exactly. Yeah. I did like this. It just reminded me of like puppies playing, or cats playing, kittens playing, just but then they sort of get together and have a little clan rally afterwards.
Yeah,
And yeah.
yeah, and he goes on his diatribe against the ghost that haunts Japan, being the father, the ghost of the father.
Well, we'll get to our little fan theories at the end, I think.
Yes. So,
Um,
yeah, so the chief sort of, after playing around, getting angry about writing on boxes, um, he asked Noboru about Ryuji,
mm, yes.
and this is Ryuji. This is where you get into him wearing the suits and lolling around the house. And it seems like Noboru, like Ryuji, didn't tell anyone, maybe for Sako, that he wasn't actually going to get back on the boat. But Noboru
Yeah.
was surprised when he found out the boat had left and he was still there,
Yeah.
which is pretty in character to Ryuji, being a thoughtless idiot.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, well, just very briefly, the description we get is that Ryuji read the silly novels and art books that Fasaka recommended, and he studied English, class each night on television, and a text empty of nautical terms, which is sinful. He listened to Fasako lecture on problems of store management. He learned to wear the smart, that's in scare quotes, English clothes she lavished on him. He had suits tailored and vests and overcoats. And then, from the 8th of January, he began going into the shop every day. That first morning, Natty in the new suit of English tweed that they had
Mm.
rushed to have ready in time, cheerful, expectant, eager. That's pathetic.
A tweed suit is a particularly ugly suit, by
Mm,
the way. So he's
yeah,
wearing like a brown suit.
just, just seems odd.
It
I mean,
sucks.
it's 8 days after he gets engaged, and
He gets reverse bimbo-fied, I think is what you call
yeah.
it.
But I think what this is to show is that he really has forsaken the sea now, and he's a landlubber like the rest of them.
The pussy's so good it
And
makes you
the
mistake the sea.
and the it's maybe the sea will have its revenge on him. Who knows? We'll have to read on to find out.
Yes, absolutely.
Did you have much more
Um,
to say about this chapter, by the
I
way?
did, just because it's so funny.
Yeah.
Fathers, just think about it for a minute. They're enough to make you puke. Fathers are evil itself, laden with everything ugly in man. There's no such thing as a good father because the role itself is bad. Strict fathers, soft fathers, nice moderate fathers. One's as bad as another. I don't know. I think that the chief's being an idiot here, and his friends is sort of just like letting him go. It's sad because one of the kids is uh, uh, beaten by his father, and
Mm,
number two talks about how his father beats him regularly, beats his mother, and then the chief foreshadows by saying there are worse things than being beaten. There are lots of
hmm
things worse than that, only you don't know about them. And he's telling this to Noboru. So, yeah, and number four's got a father who beats his wife. And then when number four stood up to him, the father sort of told him to piss off and let him get on with it. I
Yeah.
mean, they all sound like they've been pretty sad situations. I mean, you got number five, who his father's religious, um, and then the other ones sort of aren't really gotten into.
Yeah. But even that, he's like, so he beats my mom, and I stand up to him, and then, yeah, but I got something on him. He's got three mistresses as well. I'm
Yeah,
sure
like
if this guy's,
evil, instantly go for that evil little fuckery rather than
yeah,
just
yeah,
like help your mother.
yeah,
Not good kids, bad kids.
no. But what it's also said about Noboru is, well, you were the lucky one. You didn't have a father.
Yeah,
Your father was dead.
yes, and I think I think the chief certainly envies that because it sounds like he's got a very ordinary father who's not really impressive or
Yeah.
bad. He's just like present and takes his kids on holidays
Uh,
and asks them questions. There was one bit here where they were talking about in his holiday to Kyoto. Um, I asked my old man a question. Dad, is there any purpose in life? You see what I was getting at, don't you? What I really meant, Father. Can you give me one single reason why you should go on living? Wouldn't it be better just to fade away as quickly as possible? Blah blah blah, and then he just sort of rants a bit. And then when he finally answered, what do you think he said? Son, nobody's going to provide you with a purpose in life. You've got to make one for yourself. How's
Great
that for
answer.
yeah, exactly right. I wrote down that's a really good answer. And then he took it as, how's that for a stupid hackneyed moral? Like, yeah, I don't know, dude. I think that's the answer that you need to hear more than anything else. You're just waiting around for everyone to provide you with answers, even though you've apparently got them all. Like this is
What would be the
very
right
wild
answer for
brain.
the chief? That's, like, oh,
Yeah, is there any purpose in life? Well, in 1944, yes, for you there certainly would have been an answer,
yeah,
but at the moment, unfortunately, no.
yeah. He would have been one of those kids you would have just given a rifle and turned loose in Manchuria and just said, come back with some ears.
Yeah,
But
well, I don't know if
now
that
he's
actually
he's
happened.
trapped having to learn English in a school.
Flies are the fathers of this world. They hover around our heads waiting for a chance, and they see something rotten, they buzz in and root in it. Filthy, lecherous flies. I wrote "lol" next to that in my book.
But
He went
broadcasting to the whole
fucking
world, they've screwed our
crazy.
mothers.
He went crazy in this section.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
These kids. Anyway, if you think this is the worst thing that these kids are going to do, just just wait.
This is
Just wait.
Noboru talking about when number 2 getting beaten. Then you should. Why don't you? Noboru's face was bright red and he was shouting, "Butter his toast with potassium cyanide" or something
Mm,
like that.
yeah.
Interesting.
Well, yes, we'll find a little bit more about um, concoctions a bit later on. But
The end of the chapter sort of is a good summary as well for the chief being a
mm,
fucking freak. Does your old man make you do that too? He never makes you do anything. He starts doing all the crappy stuff himself, and everyone else is sort of in the habit of copying him. You're really lucky, Noboru. You should be thankful for having a dad
yeah,
that just does shit that he's supposed to do.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't get these grievances.
Um, I don't. This is what I was saying. This is where it lost me. I don't really get where these kids are coming from, but uh,
I
I mean, this could. I think a lot of this is being driven by the chief, like, and these kids are just hanging off his words.
Yeah, and then the chief ends the book by using his small, sharp, shiny teeth to bite the red
Mm,
lining of his leather gloves. And I imagine he had teeth like
rat's teeth.
yeah, like a raccoon or something,
Yeah, yeah.
like
That's exactly what I thought of. Yeah,
pointed predatory teeth. Not sure why he does that. I guess it's just to show that he's a fucking freak,
yeah.
like an
Nasty,
animalistic freak.
nasty little child.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's
Well,
had it
anyway,
hard at home. His dad's giving him very good advice.
yeah. And if you thought he was a nasty child, wait until you read the next chapter. What Noboru
Oh
does.
man, far out.
Do you, do you want to talk a bit about chapter 5?
Sure. So we begin chapter 5 with Fasako being a changed woman. She's much more affectionate, devoted, looking after Noboru, buttering him up, one might think.
Hmm.
And it begins the chapter with the great kindness on Ryuji's suggestion that she not lock him inside his room every night and not have to use the key to do so. And I was thinking, what if he needs to piss?
I would have assumed he had a chamber pot or something.
I had no idea. Maybe he
Yeah.
just wasn't able to.
Um, mate, you might want to cut this later, but I remember when I had knee surgery, I had a little thing to piss in for a
Yeah,
few
a
days. And
Gatorade bottle. You had a Coke bottle because you need something to fit your size.
no, it was a Gatorade bottle, and afterwards I just washed it out, and then after you dickhead, and then afterwards
Wow.
I just washed it out and turned it into a bong.
Nice. What do you need all this hose for, Daniel? The man at Bunnings asks as he's sweating.
And I need 20 meters of rubber hose for not turning my old piss bottle into a bong. That's for sure.
You leave a bit of piss in there, you don't even need to change the bog water, man. Self-cleaning.
Mine was a legit thing. Anyway, whatever. We don't need to talk about the things I pissed into after I had knee surgery.
This
Um,
this first page had some funny sections in it, and then
yeah.
Ryuji, who was sitting in the living room in a maroon checkered dressing gown, reading a book called "The Reality of Merchandising."
just,
Uh,
just imagine him sort of like turning each page after licking a finger.
yeah, like having half moon spectacles that he's
Yeah, after
pushing up his nose,
like yeah, just like on the tip of his nose.
and a pipe, and like the book's upside down. Noboru obviously has an impending. He's obviously figured out that Ryuji's either proposed to his mother or plans to do so.
Mhm.
Um, he has a diatribe about trying to force maturity onto a 13-year-old boy. Maturity, or as the chief would call it, perversion.
Mhm.
Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I had that underlined actually, because the perversion part. Well, let's read on, huh?
Yeah. So Misako and Ryuji take him out to dinner
Hmm.
at a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
And I thought, do Japanese people actually like Japanese food? Because he says he loved Chinese food.
Yeah.
So is that
Chinese
better
food's pretty
than?
good.
I mean, I think Chinese food's better than Japanese food, but I'm no
Do you reckon they're
Chinese.
like, let's go out for Japanese, or
No,
they just like,
they'd just say let's go to a restaurant. I think
yeah, exactly. Let's just have normal food.
let's go to a Western restaurant and have a bit of boiled cabbage and
But they no, there is. They had a
a
steakhouse
sausage.
earlier on. That one of their dates was at a Western steakhouse.
Ah, okay.
Uh, anyway,
Anyway,
so
it sounds good.
sorry.
They got for some
Yeah.
reason they're sipping Baijiu.
Mhm.
I don't know. Is that translated as Lao Chu wine in your edition?
Yeah, it is actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Baijiu is what like sake, I suppose.
Uh
It's a
n-
bit more
sake
strong.
is brewed. Sake is brewed, and I think rice wine is usually distilled, isn't it, or fermented?
Well, Baijiu is different. It's done anyway. It is brewed, but it's fermented the same way. But
Okay.
I think there might be a distillation that happens.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
I think there might be distillation as well. Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, they sort of they're sitting at the table, drinking this wine in tiny cups and sort of like nervously tapping their fingers together
Hmm.
until they finally get around to saying, "Noboru, dear, I just want you to listen carefully to what Mother is going to say because it's something very important." Fasako began finally. You're going to have a dad again. Mr. Tsukazaki is going to be your new father. Uh,
It's just so it's very, very cringy when I'm reading it.
as he listened, Noboru succeeded in keeping his face a blank, and he was so confident that he looked utterly bewildered. So far, so good. But he hadn't counted on the incredible nonsense that followed, which is like a breathless rant from Fasako, which I won't read because it's really
No,
long. But it's
it's
about how his old,
pathetic.
yeah, his old, your real dad was a wonderful man. 8 years old, he passed away. You must miss him very much. Blah blah blah, and how Ryuji's a fine, honest man, um, a strong, gentle, wonderful dad. Um, I want you to call Mr. Sukazaki dad now. We're going to be married early next month, and we'll invite lots of friends and have a lovely party. And
But
then, yeah,
it doesn't.
it's incredibly pathetic.
So for me, it is not translated as dad. It's actually translated as papa, which is even more pathetic for me.
Yeah, that does sound more pathetic. Noboru is just sitting there completely like
Yeah,
he's saying he's got this look of like, oh my gosh, this is so bewildering. But obviously he's sitting there with like a sour, like,
yeah,
like glum, dead look in his eyes because they just seem really like, why is he not saying anything?
yeah. Well, Noboru knew that he was being feared as well as pitied, and the gentle threat had made him drunk.
Yeah, we've got the a flashback to Ryuji in the wet shirt, just to remind
Hmm.
him that he showed up in a wet shirt and smiled at him once,
Hmm.
which was crime number one, was it?
Yeah, it was number one or two, but that reminds me in the previous one, I forgot to touch on it, which was that the ridicule that he receives from his friends, and I remember that very clearly from being a teenager, was all the stupid, tiny little things your idiot friends would ridicule you over, and this must have really gotten to him because you can imagine for months his friends would have been giving him shit that the guy who was banging his mum had turned up like dripping wet after bathing in a fountain.
I
And that just would have been
suppose.
the topic of conversation every time you saw them.
Yeah,
And this is just so it's flashing back to him again, this humiliation he received. This idiot is going to be marrying his mum, and this idiot is going to become his dad. The, the embodiment of evil in the world is the father, and this man is becoming his father.
yeah, fair enough. Then I won't call you Noboru anymore. From now on, it's son. What
Oh
do you
god.
say, son? Shake hands with dad.
Oh,
That's
it's
that bit, I was like, I feel like I've been in so many share houses where my roommates are having sex with a girl who's got kids, and the girl's like, make sure you call him dad. He's your new dad now.
Oh God.
And I'm just like,
What? Who are you
ugh.
share housing with?
I lived in a lot of share houses, too.
Oh God. I've never. That's crazy. Were you? Would
But it was not a good experience. A lot of them.
I?
I liked maybe one of them.
Oh my God. I never had that. And I share house a lot as well. Like I was share housing up until I was 30.
You missed
And
out
I
too.
never. God, that's crazy. Anyway, we'll continue that conversation after this.
Yeah, but the with the I'm your dad now. What do you say, son? I was still getting Ren and Stimpy vibes when they
Hmm.
become Kowalski's dad.
Oh, and the giant hand
Yeah,
reaching out for the tiny little
the Ren
the
hand
wren, yeah, the wren hand.
just crushing it. Oh dear. That night, as soon as Fasako had left his room and closed the door without locking it, Noboru's
Hmm.
head began to swim hard as an iron anchor. So this is where he gets his. I think we're at breaking point for Noboru. He's sort of
Mm,
like he's at the point where it's just he needs to have something dramatic happen. Um, and he's at this point he's just going to do it. He's going to do it himself. He's going to be as obvious as he possibly can. So he
yeah,
bolts to the dresser, seizes the handle, and then like wrenches it out so it's really loud and obvious what he's doing. And then he brings a torch in there with some excuse that he's got to be reading English word cards.
he
Briefly,
rehearses the reaction to it.
yes, that's right. What did I do wrong? I was only studying it to concentrate in a small space. I don't, yeah, whatever. I mean, even if that was, even if you weren't found out, that would not fly at all with anybody. Like
Yeah,
nobody would be like, "Oh, you're in a coffin to study." Right? Okay, that's not
yeah,
a
yeah. Normal kid. Um, Hang on. He's naked as well, isn't he?
Um,
Think
no, he isn't. I don't think.
no.
I think he's in his pajamas because he
Okay.
gets pulled out by his pants.
That's right. Yeah.
And he's got his watch on. So
Well,
he hops
if you're
in.
naked and you just got your watch on, you're still naked.
Yeah, he falls asleep on absolute, which is his word card that he's reading.
Hmm.
Um, in the box, and then Ryuji and Fasako are going to have a bit of mummy daddy time.
Hmm.
And she's wearing her black negligee that she
Hmm.
knew Ryuji liked. Which he seems like a pretty simple man.
Yeah.
Probably, I'm thinking big cleavage.
Yeah.
Um,
I just like the sound of this a lot.
maybe like giant granny panties because it's the '60s. Maybe she had like a cone bra.
Oh yeah, I remember that they were just built different back then.
She was wearing one of those lace belts around the waist that connects onto the stockings.
Oh God. Yeah, I forget what it's called. I know what you're talking about though.
More
Garter?
clothes
Is it
than we would wear
garters?
now as negligee.
Oof. Anyway, I can
Oof,
smell what's going on in that
oof.
room.
You're fanning yourself, thinking about a garter belt.
I'm
Um,
just thinking about it. Yeah. Oof. Yeah.
Ryuji laughed at her nervousness and glanced around the room. Wouldn't want anyone to be fucking spying on me.
Would-
Screw this.
oh, glad no one's in the other room peering
Glad
through
nobody's
the.
looking through a hole while we're doing this.
What? What's that light on the wall?
Yeah. And I like it. His first reaction's like, this place is falling apart.
Yeah.
This place that
Well,
is not mine, that I do not own.
he said the darkness becomes a huge eye. You feel as if you're being watched the whole time. And yeah, then he notices a little hole in the wall and he's like, damn, what's going on with this place?
Yeah, oh, better fix that up tomorrow. Anyway, let's get to rooting.
Let's do it.
Let's rut like beasts.
But Fasako has other ideas, doesn't
Yes,
she?
she becomes a Terminator.
Yeah.
she she like leaps out of bed backwards, like backflips out of the bed, and then runs in and pulls Noboru open and slaps him about the head.
Yeah.
That filthy beast.
She drags him out of the hole. Yeah.
Yeah, he lay almost prostrate on the floor, one of his legs thrust into a tangle of shirts and underwear scattered, but they'd stumbled over the drawer. He hadn't imagined his mother could muster such terrific strength, which doesn't sound that terrific. But we don't ever actually get an impression of how big Noboru is. I get the impression he's a slight boy, but
Yeah. Yeah. I just yeah. But
but
the description of a naked Fasako from a boy's perspective is also quite um confronting, maybe for me, someone who yeah, anyway, never mind.
she's not naked, is she?
Oh, the skirts of her dark blue robe are wide open. The fleshy swells of her lower body look grotesquely massive and threatening.
Her face, gasping, grief-stricken, turned horribly old in an instant and was drenched in tears. Um, so yeah, she immediately joins the dots here.
Hmm.
So she's obviously been picking up a vibe, I think,
Yeah.
that something weird's going on. But I don't know. I don't think she has actually joined the dots because Noboru says that she assumes he's doing it for being perverse,
Yeah.
like to perv on them, but he's doing it not to get sexual pleasure from it, but to be like a little for some other weird third reason.
Yeah. There's it's and it's not just a little self punishment thing. There's something about this kid. There's something wrong with him.
Yeah,
He's
it's
deriving a pleasure, but it's not a sexual pleasure.
it's some sort of um neurotic thing almost.
Mm.
Like it's a neurose rather than like lust or anything.
Yeah.
Um, so she slaps him about. No, my own son, a filthy, disgusting thing like that. I could die this very minute. Noboru, how could you have done this to me? And then she wants Ryuji to come in and punish him,
Mm.
but Ryuji is very reluctant.
Hmm.
And Noboru sort of wants the punishment, I think, more than anything.
Mm.
He wants to see what the punishment could be. I
Yeah.
don't know whether he wants to be beaten, but I think he wants to be punished in some way.
Yeah, he's gotten the reaction he wants, which is why he has not even bothered to try to pretend he was doing something else. And when they were asking him, pushing him, how long have you been doing this? Just like, yeah, it's just been forever, really. Like he's really he's gotten the reaction he wants from his mum, and he's seeing her hurt, and he wants to hurt her some more.
What I wrote for this page was Fasako bleats, Ryuji peeps because he peeps into the
Heaps.
room.
He does. He sort of scurries in after. I think he sort of
No,
has to
I
hide.
get I get the other impression. The door opened tentatively and Ryuji peeps into the room, and I imagine him like with a single eye around the door frame, looking,
Yeah,
being like,
he's got to hide his boner first.
"What's going on?" But because he was so reluctant, and I think he really didn't like want to cause a drama. He really slowballed it to the point where the sort of the height of the temper of Fasako is diminished by the point he gets in,
Mm.
and he obviously certainly doesn't want to beat Noboru, but doesn't really want to punish him either.
Well, he has I think the right strategic approach to it, which is that I've got to actually live with these two for the rest of my life at this point.
Yeah,
What kind of standard am I setting if is basically at the first sign of trouble, I take this kid and beat him to within an inch of his life just because the mother wants me to, because he's committing two sins. One is he's estranging the boy, and he's basically abusing this child he barely knows and he wants to sort of curry favor with. And two, he's just basically doing the whim of this woman he really likes, but at the same time, what sort of precedent does it set when she's just like beat the child and he's like, oh, okay.
yeah. I think that I sort of agree with where you're coming from, but I think that he has completely the wrong read on the situation.
Mm.
But I also think that it's such a strange thing to have happen to you that
Mm,
it's so like I wouldn't know how to react if a child had been watching me have sex. I would be
yeah,
like, this is really, this is really, really strange.
I yeah, I probably wouldn't. I'd be like, oh, okay, like
That's
no, he's
fucking
not my
weird.
son. I don't give a shit. Like,
But how do I handle this? Should I be angry? Should I,
yeah,
is he confused? Is this like, he goes through all those things. He's like, is it
yeah,
confusion? Is he a growing boy who's just sort of having sexual urges that he doesn't know how to deal with?
yeah,
Um, but this is sort of how Ryuji summarizes what you were going through. In the first place, it would be a mistake to interpret literally Fasako's plea that he beat Noboru. Sooner or later, he knew she would come to feel grateful for his leniency. Besides, he found himself believing the paternal instinct. As he hurried to banish from his mind merely dutiful concern for this reticent, precocious, bothersome child, this boy, whom he didn't really love, Ryuji managed to convince himself that he was brimming with genuine fatherly affection. So I think cynical, but I think that he doesn't really understand why Fasako wants him to beat
mm,
Noboru. I think that he thinks it's like a woman losing her temper or whatever, but it's also like she's just been had her dignity completely stripped by her son.
mm, mm.
Um, he obviously doesn't see it that way. He sees it as a different sort of
Well,
situation.
I think Fasako as well imagines it's a sexual thing.
Yeah.
She can't see into the mind of the Buro and realize this kid is just a freak. You know,
Yeah, but I
like,
think that Ryuji, this is our first sort of glimpse into Ryuji's true feelings about Noboru. He might,
mm,
he doesn't love him at all, and he's sort of just playing along with the "I'm your dad, you're my son" thing.
mm,
Um, but he also like it sounds like he annoys the shit out of him, like
yeah,
reticent, precocious, bothersome child. Like that's correct. He's got
yeah,
a good read on Noboru.
yeah, yeah,
Um, so yeah, but I mean, it's he sort of they leave it at that though. They don't, you know, they sort of have a chat. I've been thinking. You sit down too, mother. I've been thinking, and it seems to me that Noboru isn't the only one to blame for what's happened. Yes, he is actually. Sorry, this is me editorializing. When I came into this house, son, your life changed too. Not that it was wrong for me to come, but your life did change. It's natural for a boy in junior high school to feel curious about changes in his life. What you did was wrong. There's no question about that. But from now on, I want you to direct that curiosity towards your schoolwork. Do you understand? Direct your curiosity to carving swastikas in your desk, drawing penises and tits
yeah.
on your
Just
notepad.
torturing cats in your friend's shed.
Yeah, carving the word "cunt" into
Yeah,
someone's
just
ruler.
like going through the school maths books and just like writing like drawing like a penis on every single page.
Yeah. Oh,
Well, that was what was in every single one of my school textbooks.
that
That's
would be more healthy than what this kid's currently doing, I think.
yeah, yeah,
But so this sort of logical, thought through, strategic approach that Ryuji's taking as it completely falls flat with Noboru and he loses all respect for Ryuji, that what little he had left. And he's sort of how can you do this to me? The sailor was saying things he was never meant to say, ignoble things, in wheedling, honeyed tones, foul words, not meant to issue from his lips until doomsday. So I think that he makes his mind up
mm,
then and there that this is not going to work. Um, Ryuji right, what do you say, son? Ryuji concluded, clapping a hand on Noburu's shoulder. He tried to shake free and couldn't. He was thinking that Chief had been right. There were worse things than being beaten.
yeah.
So,
And he has realized that this man is now his father, and fathers are all evil.
yeah, father's
E- e-
the lice of the world.
Even this act of kindness and generosity, young man, I'm not going to beat the shit out of you for humiliating your mother. we're just going to work through this, and I'm going to help you grow up to be a normal boy.
Yeah.
There we go. Sin number 4.
Yeah. Attempting to make me normal.
Yeah.
The worst thing that anyone could ever do.
And what's his answer to this? Well, we'll find out in the next chapter.
We'll find out next week on...
Next 2 chapters. Oh, my God.
What's the show called? Talking Mish. These kids are kind of one of those fucked up Japanese hells where they like flay you and boil you in a pot of oil. One, where Shinzo Abe is right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Shinzo Abe and Confucius.
Yeah, getting whipped to death by demons.
Yeah, in the Chinese version of Christian hell.
Well, the typing leadership cadre look on.
Yeah. The brother of Jesus.
Yeah. They give the thumbs up to the demon, and he goes, "Oh, wow, that's really nice."
Good. Yeah. All right, Mr. Abe.
Let's get that back off you. We might leave it at that then. Thank you,
yeah,
Jamie.
we'll leave it at that.
And we will finish this. The next week will be the last chapter before possibly a special episode.
Yeah, there will definitely have to be. I need to. I'm going to prepare like a 5-minute thing for that final episode. My summation.
I don't like the sound of that.